It's like one of those Andy Warhol movies where they show 24 hours of somebody sleeping.
That's right.
I like people sleeping. I like to watch them. But usually it's people I know. You know? Isn't he cute? Isn't she cute?
Why don't you tell Cindy about the boat trip? You didn't
Well,
tell.
I heard about the people you dined with 3 nights in a row.
Yeah, well, that was kind of low-level excitement.
But actually, I heard about room service.
Okay,
I've never really understood if you ever got off the ship, but
come on now.
Yeah, we got off in Mexico on the Yucatan Peninsula and we went skin diving there.
What town was
Diving.
it? What town was it? What was the port?
Puerto
Vallarta? No, it's
No, that's on the Pacific.
Wrong coast. Unless you went on the
oh, that's
Pacific.
true. No, there.
Cozumel.
No.
Cozumel.
Cozumel, yeah.
It was very
The
nice.
big island.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind really having a place there because it's so easy to get to. You know what I mean? And it's Mexican and it's touristy.
Well, yeah, I mean, Cozumel was there long before Cancun was invented.
Right.
You know, it was like the original destination, for,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
Well, it's just a nice looking island, and the guys who took us on the dive were 4 Mexicans in a really Mexican boat, right? It looked like it was made by Walt Disney. But they're very friendly and they're very vivacious. I used it again, that word, twice, 3, 4 times today. In my own vivacious way, if I may say so. So, Joan and I dove without snorkel, without mask, and without fin. We were the only people there. Everybody else was all uptight. They're putting on their mask and their fins and the snorkels and everything, and they're bumping into each other like wounded whales. But Joan and I just had a pair of goggles on, which works perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're not going to go deep, that's all you need.
Right, we can see everything with them, with the goggles, and even without them you can see everything, but the salt bothers your eyes after a while. But it was beautiful.
They were very smart, the Mexicans, because what they do is they go with the current. And so they drop you ahead of the current, and then the whole pack just drifts down over the reef, so you don't have to know how to swim. You could be dead, basically, and you could go on one of those trips. You know? So I knew that from before, so there's no use to... Why bother with fins or anything? You know, you just had the vest on, make sure you didn't sink, right? And then they drift down, they pick you up again, they drive to another spot, they put you at the head of the drift, and you drift down.
Wow.
So it's like snorkeling for dummies.
Well,
That's kind of cool.
You know, I always maintain that, first of all, going down more than 10 feet is totally pointless.
Right. Just staying on top is fine for me. I used to do a lot of diving, with lungs and
And,
everything, but there's no real need to.
The deeper you go, the less color. You start losing color definition. Once you're down to around 60 feet.
Exactly.
It's just pointless.
Right.
Totally pointless stuff.
And a lot of gear you got to put on, and you go through tests and everything. I used to do that when I was a kid. When I was 19, I had my aqualung, one of the first aqualungs.
Ah, good one.
That was back in the Stone Age. So that was big on that, the underwater world. Then I just gave it up. I sold it like I sold my drum set.
Send them that way. No, send them to that way.
Oh.
Are these the non-sweet peanuts? Oh, look at these.
Oh, you want non-sweet peanuts?
Oh, these are fine. I have the cashews now.
Because we got non-sweet, regular cocktail peanuts.
You didn't tell about the adventure of the wheelchair.
Oh yeah, the travel agent, who's a friend of Justin's, arranged for us to be met by a wheelchair. She told him I was. You wouldn't say incapacitated. That implies your head was chopped off.
Not capitulated. I don't know.
It's
Capitated. She's capitated or habituated or habituated.
So that was funny, and it was fine. It saved me standing, waiting in line for a couple of hours like we did last time.
Yeah.
But
And
you didn't tell the whole story, though. You went for the wheelchair. You went ahead of me for the wheelchair. And so you went in the door and you asked, you said that I need aid. I want to take the words out of your mouth, but what happened?
yes,
Just tell the story.
nothing happened, but I got to sit inside instead of standing outside.
Somehow. Tom's not into embellishments this evening. You need
Oh,
to tell
there's no
the story.
embellishment. There's no embellishment. There's not even, there's just, I went there. That's it.
Minimalist all the way. I've given you enough of the idea. That's all you need.
Anyway, here's the story. That we had to wait such a long time. It was very hard on both of us. About an hour and a half in this line to get your passport checked. And we had come early. So we called up out of the travel agent and we said, you have to get us a kind of disabled permit, so they'll meet us there in a wheelchair that we can't walk. We're invalids. We can only walk a few feet. So I had a cane, or she had a cane, and I was going to get a cane. We were going to put on a whole act like John Barrymore and Lillian Gish coming into the place. But I made the mistake of leaving Joan at the depot and then going back to park the car.
Oh, no! You left her?
And I said, here's what you do. You ask for the wheelchair when you go in that you can't walk, and they have a wheelchair for you. And,
No way.
yeah, so anyway, I parked the car and I come back and Joan's not there, so I figured, well, she's in a wheelchair somewhere upstairs. So I go upstairs and there's no lines whatsoever. And I can't see her. So I can't believe it. There's no line. So then I step up to the lady and she looks at my passport. I said, is there a Joan Adley, my partner? Has she come here yet? I didn't know where she had gone. She goes, I can't tell you that. I said, yeah, but I have to know because she's incapacitated. She can't walk very far. And she goes, well, let me look. She goes,
And she's in the end stages of dementia.
yeah. She goes, well, yes, she's here. She's here. She says to me, but I can't tell you. I can't tell you. You know?
She really did that?
Yeah, like that, you know. Okay, thanks, you know. So then I'm looking for her and I can't see her. So I walk all the way down the end to the entranceway, and there she is without wheelchair. There's no wheelchair.
No.
But she has a sign on her. What does that say? Needs aid or first aid or
Is that what they put a sign on you?
a little sign. It means that you have to board first, you know.
What, it went around her neck?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that,
she had
like
to
a
hold it
billboard?
like you know, blind, you know, something like that. So anyway, I find her. I said, well, why don't you just stand up and wave to me? Why don't you look for me? She said, well, I wanted to sit down. I don't know what it was. So I found her, and then we're waiting for the wheelchair. So I go back to the lady. I said, we need the wheelchair here. I said, Joe, where's the wheelchair? Well, I asked for it downstairs, but they didn't have one. So I walked upstairs, and they didn't know what I was talking about. So the lady upstairs
You're
says,
not supposed to be walking.
no, she goes, yeah.
Remember, you need a wheelchair.
Yeah. She goes, well, we can't get your wheelchair here because where they hand out the wheelchairs is down on the first floor
Yeah,
when
where
you
those
come in.
for the people who can't walk.
Yeah. So that was great. So, but you got to get the wheelchair here because she can't move. She's incapacitated. Look at her. She has a red sign on her, you know. So Joe sat there with a red sign, and then they make the call for incapacitated, board now, you know. So we don't have the wheelchair, so we get up and walk in. It was really like ridiculous. We felt like complete criminals, goofballs, you know. And then we're working on the wheelchair. Where is she? Where's the incapacitated lady? Oh no, she walked in. She was fine, you know.
Did you saw that India?
Yeah,
Well,
that's funny.
so that was the first of the adventures. That's about a highlight for us, though. I don't think we. What else happened?
So your wheelchair plan needs more work.
We just have to take that same
Wheelchair for
boat
two.
because there's no line for that boat. If we got there an hour early, and I thought we got there an hour early last time, but the line was monstrous. But this time there was no line. I can't figure it out. You know, they get you off that boat so fast. It's unbelievable. It's like you shot out of guns. I felt like Buck Wheaton. You know, boom, I'm off the boat. You know, but getting on could be a bitch. So now we'll know that I'll get the wheelchair this time, and I'll demand the wheelchair in the first level. Since I can't walk, I'm waiting here for a wheelchair.
Okay.
Yeah, and my incapacitated wife here too, companion.
Yeah, not partner. You can't
Yeah,
say
partner.
partner anymore.
My companion,
Your age group is
The famously incapacitated Joan Adley. You probably heard about from the previous voyage, you know. Oh, man.
I'm enjoying this soliloquy. Just you, Justin, just watching. This is going to be an interesting video.
Oh, I can go on for days. After all, I'm the inventor of Ray Barbecue, so that goes on for days.
It's coming!
And the consumer of Ray's Barbecue.
Yeah. Ray's Barbecue.
Alright, I'm giving this guy till 8 o'clock, and if he doesn't show up, I'm smoking again. That's a long
8
time.
o'clock, you crazy?
It's about 2 hours and 10 minutes from now.
Maximum 1 hour.
Last time he showed up after we finished dinner.
No, that was the first time. I invited him specifically for dinner, not for drinks.
Oh.
Well,
Different ballgame.
I'm thinking he won't come, Justin. Because it wasn't a formal invitation.
so how is the corned beef being cooked? Is it being cooked the Joan way by roasting it, or is it just the boiled standard?
Boiled.
Of course. Thank you.
Irish way.
Yeah, exactly. That's my mother would never roast anything. Except lamb. Roast leg of lamb.
Yeah, that's a roast.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it. Yeah, all right.
How are you making a roast leg of lamb? Oh, we're going to boil it. Hey, Steve, by the way, in fact, I know you're having guests here on the 24th who are coming in from Cleveland, right? Something like that?
Well, it's my cousin.
We found
not
it
just a guest, it's family.
even better. That we found this for months. This guy's been telling me about this Greek restaurant. I would say, well, no, you know, I've eaten those places. You know, I don't want any more of that lemon soup, whatever it is, and the dopey
Lemon drop soup.
lemon drop soup, whatever it is. And it's always, you know, it's kind of so cooking. And in fact, my daughter's very much against Greek cooking because she spent all her time with a Lebanese family when she was in Greece, and they kept saying, oh, the Greeks have no cuisine, they have no cuisine, etc., etc. So anyway, so okay, I'll go. So Joan and I went, and the place that they have a woman cooking, the guy's wife is cooking, and she can cook. I mean, it was unbelievable. And so on the 25th, they're having like a Greek night. The last Sunday of every month, they have a Greek night. It starts about 6 o'clock. And she roasts a pig and she roasts a lamb. And then everything else, it's like a feast where you fall down and crawl out the door. And they have dancing girls and music. And he has the best Retsina wine. He makes it himself, you know. And he's a piece of work too. In fact, I'll show you some of the videos I have of him later. Orgo, George. And his wife is Norma. No. Doris. And their daughter is the waitress. And it's very small, very tasteful. But the food is just like you're eating in the best home. Not the best restaurant, but the best home in Greece. And she's really quite beautiful. I took some pictures of her. I said, George, I said, I have new respect for you.
So, is this every month or just only this month?
Yeah. Right, it's every month.
All right, so we can catch it some other time when we don't have visitors. And,
Okay, I thought maybe you'd like to bring them up or something just for a little
we
treat.
have already a defined schedule.
Okay. Well, then Joan and I will go because...
Going in the opposite direction.
Yeah. But in fact, we'll go the following month or the month after, whenever it fits into your schedule.
Do you have to be invited? It's like word of mouth.
Well, you have to make reservations.
Oh,
Do they throw dishes? Like smashing up the plates?
I hope so.
Oh, I thought you've been already.
Not to these things, but to eat in a normal dinner.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is the Greek night. So there better be a lot of smashing of dishes.
You got to be there ready to eat and dance.
Oh, I can do that.
The Greek dancing, like that, like Zorba.
Nobody can do that. You fake something else.
Right.
Because Greek dancing is so fucking complicated, it's like, only a Greek could come up with shit like
Right.
that. I mean, you can do it simple or you can do it complicated. They took the complicated. That's why they have two languages, Old Greek and New Greek.
Oh, do they?
Well, there's a book by Dudley Fitz on the Greeks that I happened to read because I was going back into Greek drama and Homer and things like that. And he says that people think that the Greek chorus kind of moved like the girls at Swarthmore, nice little graceful little moves. He says, but the meters are so complex that they must have really been stepping, because that whole form of the chorus responding to the actor basically is a kind of takeover from tribal poetry. So that besides being very brightly dressed and not in white robes, like their statues were brightly colored, is they were really moving. Like the Greek dances are very complex, like you say, in terms of the foot movements, So I thought I'd bring that up. It's a little...
It's on the side, yeah.
Greekalia, whatever you call it. Okay. Greekalia. Because that shows you that, in fact, our conception of the Greeks is so pasteurized because we hate the fact that their statues were colored. We can't believe they did that, Or that the Parthenon, like the cathedrals in France, were painted like dollhouses, Oh, no, have to be white, gray, like that. And they moved very gracefully. No, they didn't. They were jiving, They were really moving because they were hooked into that tribal spirit. And so,
actually, it was basic mathematics, but never mind.
Well, that was the meter, because in fact that came down, from tribal times, and they put it into complex metrical schemes, which are still existent. So we have that.
Well, you mentioned the Parthenon. They've been working like the last 2-3 years, whatever, even more. They're doing it because it was falling down.
Right.
And the previous repairs were total cock-ups,
No.
Did more damage than good.
But they were big repairs, though. You're talking about, this was very serious business. You're talking about the last 10 years of repairs?
Yeah. I mean, you're talking $100 million or something.
They were all fucked.
No, the old repairs.
Okay, the older repairs than that, right.
Yeah,
right.
now these are the new repairs,
right,
the real repairs, the ones that are going to save it for eternity. They couldn't figure out how in the hell they did it. So when you look up at these columns, they look straight.
Right.
Because they can't. If they all the same size, if the column
right, they're kind of canted inwards a little bit.
Yeah, then the
eye gets fooled.
Yeah, they couldn't find the formula.
Right.
And so I'm watching this documentary, and the guy is explaining that there is this temple to Apollo on the ancient coast, where only 2 or 3 columns are standing. They never finished that because an earthquake, came, during the construction, and they abandoned, the whole thing. There's still a couple of columns still standing and all that. And I'm thinking, we've been there,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
When we went to Turkey with the kids, we rented a car and we drove down the Asian coast, and we hit every one of these Greek settlements, and this one, just an abandoned temple. So, but the guidebook said, go there at sunset. It's like, sit back. There's a little bar, restaurant, very basic, across the street. Just sit there, have a beer, and enjoy the sunset, coming down,
That's right.
over the columns. And we did that, and we had some French fries and beans, whatever, and a couple of beers. Well, what happened was that this archaeologist was walking through the ruins at just about sunset. And, there was like, this underground passage kind of thing,
Right.
And as he walked through it, he came up to this wall, and just because of the way the light was, in a very faint, there was the formula.
Oh,
Because
I saw that one, yeah, exactly.
these guys, wrote down exactly what their formula was as they were, chiseling the stones, And because the temple never got finished, they never erased it. Because usually when they
Right.
did a finished job, they erased all their formulas and all the notes and everything else that they carved into the stone. And I mean, I was like, wow, I've been there. You know? It was like another one of those great moments in my life.
So that's how they discovered the formula.
Yeah, that's why they got the formula, and
It was written out, and that's
so
it.
now, when as they did the Parthenon, they knew exactly how to calculate
That's pretty cool.
the diameter of the
cool.
stones.
Yeah.
As they were carving them. But no, that was like a huge project, and like I said, the UNESCO kicked in a bunch of money. And I think they spent well. That's why the Greeks are in debt, because they're spending a lot of their money too on that
Right.
shit, I mean,
Yeah, well, that's where all the tourists to come look at it.
Yeah.
Right, they have to see the Parthenon
oh yeah.
restored.
But they're just being, beaten by Rome. I mean, nobody says, let's go to Greece. Let's go see the ruins in Athens. They don't.
Yeah.
They want to go to Rome.
Right.
Remember, Athens used to be on the big, you got to go to Athens and Rome. And now it's just you go to Rome.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean,
I went to both.
when's the last
Well, I went
time
at different times.
You've heard in the last decade somebody going to Athens.
I went there because of
Okay.
Margaret took me there because she knew Greek and she knew where to stay. We stayed in the Achilles Hotel,
Oh, cool.
which was a walk up
Okay, kill your heels. Yeah.
right in the middle of town. But Athens is a small town, though. It's in terms of what you expect for downtowns like Berlin or London, it's not a big town downtown. It's all little shops. Every third shop is a pizza shop or something. It's,
Really? Huh.
the Greeks, in fact, we stayed with a family who were Lebanese who had sought asylum in Greece. So one of the younger brothers was telling me, he goes, well, the Greeks, they see some guy who has a pizza stand, and they say, well, he's making money, I'll make money too. So he opens a pizza stand right next door to him, They have to have their own shop. They can't work for anybody, Right?
That's
Like
a
the
good
Hebrews.
thing.
Jews can't do it either. They want to have their own shop, So
Excuse me.
it's
Just
only
sticking
the
right
Anglo-Saxon
in
thing is the thing that big corporations, otherwise they don't want to do it.
Well, the Greeks throughout history were businessmen. As a matter of fact, the Crusaders hated their guts because most of the Crusades went through Greece.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
And the Greeks would just absolutely screw it.
Really?
Charge them triple and 10 times,
It'll be a while.
for food. As they went through and everything. I mean, eventually that's why they sacked, Constantinople, was because they were just so pissed off at the. What's wrong with the glass?
I needed a clean glass.
The what?
I needed a clean glass.
Oh, you did. What'd you do to it?
We drool all over it. Well, you asked. I was taking glasses. That's why I
Let me take that Banksy book there a second.
So what I was telling you is that my brother and his new
Banksy and me.
girlfriend
I like
Banksy.
that piece.
are doing she wants to do a film on street art, and he's doing the research for her, and they hope to do that film together whether they meet or not.
Well, how can they do the film together whether they meet or not?
Because
He's gonna mail her
doing
the
all
script?
research on it and sending her the results of it. He says,
He needs a little piece of ass out of this deal. He's
well,
not.
he does, but I told him that may not be the way that it's destined to unfold, But I think the working together on a project, a save the world kind of project, because that's what they're both interested in, would be an amazing thing.
I know I have a project that, in fact, we could do together since we want to. Let's document our last days on Earth, and every week that we'll meet, and we'll have the latest insights as to when the ship is leaving, and then we'll have how many installments? It's May now, March, April, May, June, July, August, September.
That's it, September.
It's only 6 months. So as we get close to September, the drama will build. We'll increase the little meetings to every day,
It'll be done. Done.
Exactly.
Well,
It'll be a
you
hit.
backtrack
We can play that on
forward,
YouTube.
that's
We'll
great.
get more hits. We'll be famous again.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
The life and times.
Yeah, so you don't have to do anything. We just have to report in, you know.
Exactly.
What did you get from the airwaves? Okay, well, here's what's happening. You have an aisle seat, you know, when you get down to the real specifics, you know, I want to know. And how many bags should we pack and all that stuff.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly.
and how about our friends? Who's coming? You know, will the dead come, or are the dead are going to be left here?
So wait a minute. You mean to say that the guys that are going to be picking us up are not going to bring stuff?
That's what I can't believe. There's no gifts, no nothing.
Well, they're gonna.
No bon voyage gifts.
Some youth serum. No, fork it over. Give it to me.
I don't mind if they make a sex slave out of me, but
You're perfect for that. You and Justin are going to be perfect for that.
Well, we'll be the presidents. We'll have dual presidency. You know, so if anything goes wrong, I'll say, well, Steve decided that one. I didn't, you know. And then if you can say, well, Justin decided that. Shit, I didn't have anything to do with that one. You know, so that way we'll avoid all responsibility. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
We'll be kings forever, basically. It's a new form of government. Avoidance by proxy.
Your
Something like
time
that.
of being kings is over, baby. I hate to tell you this, but the babies wield more power than the adults anyway.
Steve, what are you making now?
this is fresh horseradish.
Whoa! Joan, you never make that.
Exactly.
Fresh horseradish. Whoa! Unbelievable.